start.
Everybody, all of us are now gathered on the stage to talk about the topic, that is, express our views on the topic, Indian education, when compared to foreign education. Well, both of them are good. You cannot say if Indian education is better than the foreign education, but they have pros and cons. And I hope that we will be discussing the pros and cons now.
Yeah, you are right. Actually, our education, what our hard work is, it's all utilized by other countries. We come with all our hard work, we go to other countries, get educated, and use all our work over there. And the other countries, the foreign countries get the benefit, and there's no change in our country. So we need to change that.
Educate. The purpose of education is to build mind, not career. Indian education needs to change a bit to be able to manufacture skilled and brilliant students. Indian education do not focus on practical knowledge, but it focuses on theoretical and bookish knowledge. Theoretical knowledge is okay for getting marks and jobs, but if we want to survive in the modern world, in today's society, we need to have practical knowledge. A student who has practical knowledge can survive anywhere over the world. If we, according to survey made, an excellent Indian brain reads at least 16 to 18 hours a week, whereas the same level of intelligent student in Japan just reads 10 to 8 to 10 hours a week, and in US and Canada, the ratio is about 12 to 14 hours a week. Why is there such a huge difference in Indian and foreign education? This is because we focus on practical knowledge, we focus on theoretical knowledge rather than practical knowledge. So I believe we must change a little bit and focus on both practical and theoretical knowledge because both are equally important.
Albert Einstein rightly said that if you judge a fish by telling him how to climb a tree, then you won't know its actual talent. Each one has different talents and everyone is creative in their own way. But Indian education suppresses these talents and not giving proper opportunities. Only the medicine and the engineering streams are given more importance as there is no importance for the interest of the other talents. Because if the parents are of high dignity work and the child takes up something like arts or sports, it removes their dignity and removes their status in the society. No, talent is not respected in our country. It is just that we are mugging up all the answers, getting no problems to solve, not getting any education properly for facing the real life situations. Later in our life, it is just mugging up all the answers and doing it and walking on the papers. Marks in the report cards are not important. What is important is the conceptual understanding and innovative way of thinking.
All my brothers and sisters so far have spoken insulting the Indian framework. It is rather shameful to insult your mother nation on how it goes. The Indian education system is on par with the other countries. So all of you here have spoken about the great United States of America. So let me tell you something about the USA. 1.2 million students in USA end up graduating before 12 because they don't know what to do after the graduation. The fees there is more than that of India. So you have to realize that India is just a teenager. India is just 68 years old, and all of this have been just done 68 years old. And given the fact that there was no proper leadership in the 1950s till the 1980s, it is to be appreciated that we still have universities on par with the other countries. And keeping in mind that we are fellow Indian citizens, it is rather intriguing that we speak about the other nations rather than our own country's development. So I feel that our country's issues have to be discussed. We don't need the statistics of other countries. We don't need the job employments given there. India today, every year 20 million Indians cross 18 years, and they're in a situation whether to do a job or not because there is lack of job employment. So Indian problems on this open forum have to be discussed given the fact that we are fellow Indian citizens. So this have to be discussed right now.
Most of our students' lives are just like a pressure cooker. Like our parents tell us you need to become this. The relatives say that you also should become like this. The siblings, everyone's heat, everything comes on one student.
system of Indian education. The purpose of education is to teach as well as to learn. We teach to the world many innovative things, and we even need to learn from them. It's all about learning, not insulting the nation. Indian education today has become a big business, huge profitable business. Private schools demand high fees, because of which poor students are not being able to study in private schools. And if we take the situation of government school, there is no good education and opportunities for a student which is required to prove themselves in the modern society as well as in front of the world. This has also become a consequence for the agricultural problems. 70 to 80% of Indian farmers are from villages, and more than 90 to 95% of Indian students from village studies in government school. Thus, they do not have adequate education to adapt to the surrounding. And a survey tells that if a student reads till class 9 to 10, he can improve the productivity of farms from 15 to 16%. So I believe even government school must give equal standard of education which they require.
Actually, your point was right. Continuing on that, I would like to tell that the free education that is provided to villages and the people who are economically backward is not of good standard. I mean, the teachers are not adequately qualified. But in contrast to this, in countries like USA, the public education or the free education that is provided to each and every person, I mean, it is there in each and every locality, is of the best standard. That is, most of the people who are successful in their life come from these schools. And coming to foreign education, let us take a case of Japan. In Japan, up to the fifth class, the most important subject of their curriculum is civics. And we know that Japan is one of the most disciplined citizens of the country.
Oh yes. So we discussed about other countries when our country is at stake. Yes. So all of you have smartphones here. Go to Google Maps and type anti-national. What you get JNU. The Google Maps locates JNU once you type anti-national in the Google Map. So we are in a country where our country's education system is at stake. If you take the NIT as an example, the students there are suffering from the acquisitions made by other countries. So I even want to spread some light on the reservation as per the Indian Constitution. So the IIT's fees has been increased by 120%. 120% only for the common category. So a reserve candidate pays 90,000 as the IIT fee, and the common category student has an increase of 120%. So why do you think that 120% increase is there? So to as the reserve category is getting subsidized fee, the common category has to make up the remaining 90,000 of the fee. So there are certain flaws. A coin has two sides. Indian education system has merits and demerits. But when we talk about demerits, we don't consider them as a fault, but we have to take them as steps to be discussed in our country and make sure that they are the flaws and make sure we make up for them and see that we improve our standards.
Most of the Indian educational systems, they do not focus on research. Like on the olden times, because of Ramanujan, all these famous people, because of them, as they have experimented, as they have done a lot of things, they have proved that this is equal to this. But we just muck it up. We don't even know if it is true or not. So we don't experiment in ourselves and find out, yeah, this is right, I have done it. But in UK, US, they all think it out of the box. They use it all creativity. They use all their work. They use it. They do it by themselves, and they find it out that if it is true or not. So we should also develop ourselves and see that we can do it ourselves.
I would like to add some points on this reason. Recently, a American politician went to America. He asked Obama, what is the reason behind the success of USA? And do you know what Obama said? He said 2 years. Then politician asked, how? He said, you take reserve, we take reserve. This simply focuses on reservation. We provide opportunities to people who are from lower castes, SCs or STs. We must provide them equal standard of education, rather than providing them with education, rather than providing them with reservation and making them easy going. We provide them job, saying that it is reservation, but we do not provide jobs to those students who get 96 to 99%. They struggle to get job in India. Thus, most of those students goes to foreign countries like America and work there. Do you know the CEO of biggest software companies, whether they Google or Microsoft, are all Indians. We need reservation, and reserve students are going to foreign countries. Reservation is the biggest reason for brain drain in India. So I want to make a point that instead of giving reservation, we must think that how we can provide lower caste students with equal level of education rather than making them a easy going life.
Okay, so do we realize that our country
Education has merits and demerits. There, we don't talk only about the merits or only about demerits. Merits are that we give out so many people from India to the world, and so many people like Satya Nadella who studied in India and went and got great posts in America. But there are demerits as of reservation, like if a person of low caste gets 80% and a person of high caste is getting 90%, he gets into the lottery. And the person with 80% becomes a police. Then how will the more intelligent be placed in the hands of the less intelligent workers?
Sundar Pichai and Satya Nadella never completely studied in India. So after 12th, they left to the United States to complete their MBA and also their graduation. So it's not solely that they completed the studies right from India. So on the other way around, India has taken a tangential turn these days. So after the Modi government has come, I feel that India is moving ahead on par with the other countries. So the problem here is that it's not our problem. If at all Ambedkar would have already known that there will be such a situation today, would have never drafted such a constitution which has more favoring to the reserve caste. So I feel that it's always us who make a difference. At the end of the day, it's us, the Indian citizens, who make the difference. The government alone can't do anything. There should be support from the Indian citizens on to what they want at the end of the day. So the Indian education system is looking forward for people of bright minds. So we feel that the USA and the other countries have good education systems. And at the end of the day, what are they up to? They join terrorist organizations, given the fact that they don't have job opportunities. So job opportunities and reservation systems play a very vital role in any of the education forum.
Actually, you're right, but I would like to mention another point that the reservations should be given to the people who are economically backward actually. If you take the main reason for the reservations is that to give an equal opportunity to everybody. Nowadays, if you go on the street, there is no difference between socially backward person and, as you say, the normal caste. But what we should do is that first, the Indian education, the main goal of the Indian education should be to remove the caste system. And taking the example of USA or country, something like that, they patronize their country. That is, they teach their children that India is the greatest. But in India, that only happens, that kind of education. That kind of education takes place only in the central schools, not in the state schools where it is even more important. There is a lot of students who are poor study in the state schools, and the better education should be given over there.
Reservation is good, but not in jobs, in education. We need to provide students with equal opportunities of education. We provide them jobs, taking that they are low caste, but they are not talented, they don't have sufficient talent to prove themselves. Why don't we provide them with equal opportunities in education rather than providing them easy jobs? Now, it's too much about demerits of Indian education. Coming to married point, Indian education is based from past thousands of years, we have practiced the Guru Sishya Parampara, that is a respect towards the teacher. We give respect to traditions and cultures of our country. We give respect to the teachers. But I believe in no other countries in this whole world give so much respect to traditions and culture and teachers like in India. So, like you said, that there's two faces of coin. One is good and one is bad. In a similar way, Indian education is good in one way and bad in the other way. So, we need to keep on and go on with our goods, and we need to learn from other countries to improve our bad sides.
Conclude, students. Time. Conclude.
So at the end of the day, it still depends on the Indian citizens on to decide their fate on how the country goes on the next generation, on how they pass on to the next generation, the education system. I also feel that as of now, there's no effects of the education system currently in India. However, any development made in the education forum is only for the betterment of the country, but not on to the standards of the citizens. The Indian citizens as of now are happy on the education system is working, and I feel that until the 2020 dream of Abdul Kalam finally succeeds by developing the education forum in India.
Before I like to conclude, I say that the main intention of Indians are breaking business. Like many coaching centers, they take up money but they don't teach anything. They just use the money for themselves. They use it for name and fame, but they don't use it for anything else. But I like to conclude to say that we have got independence. India has got its independence, and we should use it in the correct way. We must use it. We must develop it. India has all this money we have all the essentials. We must use it in the correct way and use it to change this entire society.
Yes. One more conclusion.
Everyone here is right that there are merits and demerits, but we must all go on with our merits. With the help of the merits only we can do this. But if we try to reduce our bads and then go on turn them into our merits, then our country can progress more and more and do very good citizens for the future of our world. So we always must take our innovative thinking, and as government has introduced academic standards, we must follow them properly so that even we can come on par with all the foreign contributions.
And I would like to conclude by saying that the aim of this discussion, as I hope, is that we can use all of these demerits and convert them into merits. And having discussed all of these points, we must work towards making them our merits. Thank you.
Done, right? Yes. Yes.
Okay, it's alright. Before concluding, I would like to make one point. There is a scope of improvement in Indian education that the young generation can make. In recent times, many of Indian students, as a passion, have taken politics and got into language. I believe I don't totally disagree with politics in students' life, but there must be a limit. Students should bind themselves till a limit and extend. Like the issue of JNU, they must not exceed the limits. They must make that they are citizen of India. They can't just say that it is their right, freedom of expression, but they have some fundamental duties which they have to follow as a citizen of India. So coming back conclusion, there is some scope where Indians can improve and the young generation can improve India a lot. And I believe by 2025, India will improve and become the topmost nation